this fight's just gonna be too easy for me.
All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story, Hafthor Bjornsson. Hafthor will be fighting in an exhibition boxing match in 2 days, and just 2 days out from that boxing match, he went live on his Twitch channel to call out Eddie Hall. He had a little message for Eddie 2 days prior to his exhibition fight here. So let me go ahead and roll that message that Thor had for Eddie Hall.
And then lastly, the message to Eddie Hall. I just hope that you are sparring Eddie, that you're not just punching a man that is not allowed to punch you back. Because I truly believe that if this is your only training is to hit some pads and to hit the man that is not allowed to hit you back, you're gonna get knocked out. I truly recommend that you consider a new coach, Eddie, because obviously something is not going well for you, because I will knock you out, and you should really consider, Eddie, to do some exhibition fights, because if you do not, this fight's just gonna be too easy for me. That's all I have to say. I hope he watches this video. I hope he sees this, and I hope he takes this seriously, because like, you can be all tough on YouTube. You can make your clips look all tough and blah, 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 make your edit to look good. You can ask your guy to, like, in the end of the day, like, honestly, I think Eddie's like, I'm going to say one positive thing about Eddie. I think Eddie's a great actor. He's able to manipulate so many people around the world. Like, it's impressive, man. Congratulations. Anyways, I can't wait. Guys, make sure you tune in this weekend. It's going to be fucking fantastic. I cannot wait. This is going to be a great experience for me. I'm hyped.
So I think this makes things a little bit spicier, a little bit more interesting. It gives us more to talk about. Thor is definitely talking a pretty big and pretty confident game with these statements that he's making towards Eddie. And I think Thor does have a good point here. I think Eddie should also consider doing some exhibition fights. I don't know what training Eddie is doing as far as what he's doing differently to Thor. The only main thing that I'm aware of is that Thor is doing multiple exhibitions and Eddie hasn't announced any yet. And I do think it's smart of Thor to do that for a number of reasons. Number one, it gives him some real in-ring experience in front of a crowd. When the pressure's on, he really gets to kind of get a feel for what the fight with Eddie is going to be like, the circumstances, the environment, the atmosphere. That kind of practice is invaluable. It's great for him to be doing that. But also, it helps build up the fight, especially if Hafthor does well in these exhibitions. If Hafthor shows us that he's fast, he's quick, he's light on his feet, he's got good conditioning, he's got good endurance in these exhibitions, and he goes the distance of all the rounds, I think that makes the fight with Eddie much more interesting, because you're seeing all these positive aspects of Hafthor's training broadcast for everybody for free, and we haven't really seen that yet from Eddie Hall. But the flip side of that is if Hafthor doesn't look good and he does terrible in these exhibitions, then it's going to make the fight a lot less interesting. So maybe Eddie is waiting to see how Hafthor does in this exhibition first before Eddie decides to do one of his own. Now, I, for one, am very curious to see what kind of show we see from Hafthor here in a couple of days, and what kind of shape he's in, what kind of training he's been doing, and how that all translates into an actual boxing ring in an exhibition fight. Are we going to see a completely different Hafthor than we've seen from videos, or are we going to see about what we expected from Hafthor? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, what you guys expect to see from Hafthor here in a couple of days, and if you think Eddie should be doing these exhibition fights as well, putting himself out there like Hafthor is. Let me know in the comment section below. Now, next up in the news, Big Ramy and Dennis James, their troll level is on 1,000. So I kind of like to see this. Is kind of funny that they keep hammering down on the panic mode comments about their last-minute preparations for the Olympia, their training style at the last minute. Some people said that they were in panic mode and that they weren't ready to compete at the Olympia. And Ramy, Dennis, Chad, none of them seem to be letting this go, especially considering the fact that Ramy ended up not only looking fantastic at the Olympia, but winning the Olympia. So I'm sure it does feel good to prove the naysayers wrong, but Dennis James and Ramy coming out with panic mode merch. Dennis James sporting a brand new panic mode t-shirt tagging Chad Nichols and Big Ramy in that. And then the following story on Dennis James's story was a picture that T-shirt was taken from. So it was a training session right before the Olympia when Ramy came to stay with Dennis, and they were training together at Dennis's home gym. This was the panic mode training session that everybody was referring to. So I think it's cool that they are hammering down on this and not letting people forget that they were proven wrong. And Dennis James was the original person to post this, but Ramy reposted both of these stories on his own story. So I thought that was kind of funny as well. And I'm kind of curious what you guys think. Do you think Ramy is going to be a one-time Mr. Olympia champ, or do you think this is the beginning of the reign of Big Ramy? Comment down below if you think Ramy is going to defend and repeat in 2021 at the Olympia. Do you think he's going to keep that title? Or do you think this was a one-and-done thing and someone new or possibly someone who's already won it is going to come back this year and win the 2021 Mr. Olympia? I'm really curious on your guys' theory on that, because the big thing with Ramy, I think, is going to be whether or not Ramy is consistent. We know that in the past, Ramy has been inconsistent. Now he's finally nailed that conditioning. The question is, will he be able to do that again? Or was it just a one-time thing? Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about that question. All right, guys, so I'm happy to announce that Keeps decided to keep sponsoring this channel, and they're sponsoring today's video as well. So Keeps offers the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss medications out there. You may have tried them before, but probably never for this price. Did you know that 2 out of every 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35 years old? That's me, and that's probably a lot of you guys. The best way to prevent hair loss is to do something about it while you still have hair left, and that's where Keeps comes into play. Prevention is key. Keeps treatments can take up to 4 to 6 months or more to see results. It's important to act fast. The sooner you start using Keeps, the more hair you'll save. Find out today why Keeps has more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors and why nearly 100,000 men trust Keeps for their hair loss prevention medication. If you are ready to prevent hair loss, then take action and go to the keeps.com/NSP link in the description box to receive 50% off your first order. That's KEEPS.com/NSP. Save your hair now and click that link. Clicking that link supports the channel. So if you want to support the channel, click that link. Now, next up in the news, some more Arnold Classic news. We still don't have an update on the Arnold Classic USA, but the Arnold Classic Australia just posted an update on their social media. The Arnold Australia was scheduled for basically a couple weeks after the Arnold Ohio was originally scheduled, for March 19th and through the 21st, 2021. They just announced on their Instagram that the Arnold Classic Australia will not be happening in March, and because of the virus, it is postponed indefinitely right now without a new date announced. So I had kind of already heard this already, that the Arnold Australia wasn't going to be happening, but I didn't want to put it out there for sure. Now it is out there for sure. It's postponed indefinitely, so there are not new dates right now for the Arnold Australia, so we're still unsure whether it will happen or not this year at all. Now, we reported yesterday that the Arnold Classic Brazil was moved to October, and that the Arnold Classic USA is supposedly being moved to September, so it looks like they're aiming for fall dates for the 2 Arnold Classics that we know about so far. Now, we also have the Arnold Classic UK, and the Arnold Classic UK has also been moved to October 1st through the 3rd. So it looks like 3 of the Arnold Classics right now are being held in the fall of 2021 instead of the spring to summer of 2021, which is when they're usually held. So I think this is fascinating, and I still think this is further evidence that they're going to move the Olympia to December. Again, we don't know for sure. The Olympia is not on the official IFBB schedule right now, but to me, it looks like they're lining up an awful lot of shows in the fall, which to me would suggest that these shows would be before the Olympia so that people can qualify for the Olympia. And if that's the case, I would expect to see the Olympia in December again this year and not in September like it usually is. But I guess only time will tell. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I will keep you guys posted if there's updates on the Arnold Classic USA. And of course, when the official dates are announced for the 2021 Mr. Olympia competition. Now, next up in the news, a posing video from Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, Pro Joe 2, Joseph Bania. Pretty much every time Joe posts a posing video or physique update, I want to cover it on my channel, because I think the bodybuilding progress of the son of one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time is always an interesting story. So Joe going through some classic bodybuilding poses. I know that Joe is pursuing classic physique, and he's also pursuing a competition in a natural organization, a drug-tested natty organization. I've seen a lot of you guys speculate as to the natural status of Joseph Bania in the comment section, so feel free to do so in the comment section of this video. But so far, still think Joe is looking very impressive. Just wanted to show you guys that update. Now, the final story that I have for you guys today, Chris Bumstead switching to the men's open bodybuilding category. Now, I've seen this rumor going around. I have no idea where it originated or where it came from or what the catalyst was for this rumor, because I personally see absolutely no reason for Chris Bumstead to ever really switch to men's open bodybuilding, especially now. He's winning. He hasn't lost his title. He's defended it successfully. And he's clearly what they're looking for in classic physique. So I don't know where this rumor came from, but Chris Bumstead, in an interview with David Bay on the Mr. Olympia LLC Instagram page. So David Bay, by the way, he's the bald guy. If you see him in the gym or if you see him around, ask him if he was that guy in a Nick Strength and Power video. He told me he loves when people ask him that. Just messing with you, Dave. But they put an end to that rumor in this Instagram interview. So let me play a clip for you guys from that interview right here.
Somebody asked the question, when are you switching to open? I saw some stuff floating around last. I wasn't even going to bring it up. It's been brought up a few times because but I feel like they're going to come after me if I don't answer this question. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time. Are there any plans so we can squash all this stuff for Chris that's switching to open?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because my brother-in-law and coach he's sitting right here, and he raged on Instagram because he has Q&As and he has 50 people ask him every single time. And the short answer is there's no chance of ever going open. They will never squash it because people will continue to ask. He said it true. I have no intention of leaving a class where I'm already on top of. I never had a desire to be 300 pounds. I'm 10 pounds under my weight limit already, so there's just happen.
Yeah, and I was hoping it wasn't going to come up, and it's come up a bunch. I'm like, all right, we're going to wrap this up here in a few minutes. We'll throw it. So there you go. There's your short answer.
So there you guys have it. It seems like a pretty self-evident answer to the question, but I have seen this rumor going around a lot, and really, I personally see absolutely no reason why. Why would Chris ever leave classic physique while he's winning, and while he's on top, and while no one is really even close to him right now? And I also saw Chris's brother-in-law and coach Ian Valier answer this question on his own Instagram story. He said, okay, lots of people ask this, and all I can answer back is why. Why would Chris ever switch? He's winning Olympias, he's staying healthier, being smaller, and he's undoubtedly one of, if not the most popular physiques on the planet with the physique he has now. What would he accomplish by switching other than potentially compromising health, especially for Chris with an existing autoimmune disease? You could say prize money, but you clearly don't know how much money Chris makes if you think some extra prize money once a year would be incentive enough for that at all. Now, this is a good point, if not the only good point for switching from classic to men's open, is that the classic physique prize money is almost non-existent. It's really kind of embarrassingly small, but it is significantly bigger in men's open bodybuilding. But you got to consider a guy like Chris, through endorsements and sponsorships, is making a lot more than he would ever make from prize money, regardless of the division that he's in. So the only argument that I think could support Chris moving to men's open bodybuilding would be substantially more prize money. But like Ian says, Chris probably doesn't need it. So he says, and also, I don't think that he would be top 5 in the Olympia Open, which I don't think so either. That's no offense to Chris. He's just an entirely different physique than what they're looking for in men's open bodybuilding. And he says, so he probably wouldn't even be making any more prize money anyways, which is another very good point. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think Chris should switch to the men's open bodybuilding category? And if so, why? What is your reasoning? Because I still am very confused where this rumor even came from, but I am curious to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please click that subscribe button if you have not subscribed already. And please click that Keeps link in the description box below. If you support the channel, do it through Keeps. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.